They mentioned Bob Marley earlier. Bob Marley once said on his album, Talking Blue, it's an album where he does a bunch of interviews in between live performances. And Bob Marley said that music is the healing of the soul. And with all the respect and much respect is due, I disagree. Music excites the soul, it can soothe the soul, it can inspire the soul, it can sadden the soul, it can make the soul happy, but it does not heal the soul. That is for laughter. Laughter heals the soul. I've been having a really, really rough time these last few months. Lost a friend to violent murder, Rick McLeod, who's come here a lot. Just lost a nephew a couple of days ago. Lost my wife in a divorce. So I've been going through a lot. And I decided to make myself feel better. I would come here and make you guys laugh. And making you laugh makes me laugh, and therefore physician heal myself. Ow! So let's talk about weed. Because I'm a huge pothead, and I smoke weed a lot. I'm a pothead. And I've learned that I can't do everything when I smoke weed. Like, I took a shower the other day, high as fuck. It's not a good idea. See, weed messes with your short-term memory. And I kept forgetting what part of my body I washed. And I kept washing the same parts over and over again. I was in the shower for an hour and a half. I washed every part of my body about 16, 17 times. It's the middle of the winter and I look like I had a fucking sunburn. It was ridiculous. Yes, it was good. That's a good soap too. Here's one of the things that happened to me smoking weed. I've got a friend of mine I do comedy shows a lot with, and we smoke weed on the way to the show. And 30 minutes before we get there, we stop smoking. Because we don't want to just come in there reeking of marijuana. You can smell like you smoke, but you don't be reeking, you know. As a comedian or a musician, you can walk in smelling like weed. You just don't want to be reeking of weed. So we air the car out a little bit, half an hour before we get there. So we're doing this show, and we had a great time. 10 people showed up in this little small town. And the lady loved us, the lady that booked it. She said, listen, I booked all the shows for this town. I booked all the weddings, all the anniversaries, all the parties, all the trips, the airplane trips. I booked everything. And I didn't know that, I forgot that so many people was gone for this weekend, but next month, nobody's leaving town. The whole town will be here, all 128 of us. It's a lot of people for that town. And so we said, all right, we'll come back. It'd be nice to have more than 10 people, you know, for the show. So the next month we came back. 3.5-hour drive. We're smoking weed the whole way. Half an hour before we get there, time to put out the weed, because we're, you know, air the car out. They called us. We had just put out the weed. He said, look, if you guys want to cancel, it's okay. I said, why would we cancel? We're on our way. Well, I don't think we're going to have a show. We were 3 hours in on a 3.5-hour drive. We're coming. You know, she said, we'll pay you no matter what. Well, I don't think we're going to have a show because the lady who booked the show, she died this morning. And the whole town is in mourning, and they're all sad, and just, I don't think it's a good idea to do the show. So if we're coming into town, and you're going to pay us, we might as well do the show. You know, somebody might want to see the show. She said, well, all right, we'll play it by ear. We hang up the phone and look at each other and say, well, might as well roll another blunt. Fuck it, you know. We pull up to the place, they are all, it's like 40, 50 people outside, they're hugging each other, they're crying, you can see their shoulders hunch over as they're crying, and we look over there and we go, well, let's go make these motherfuckers laugh. And we went in there and had one of the best shows we've ever had in our life. They needed the laughter. It healed them. And they told us we needed this so much, thank you guys so much. And we needed the weed, so it worked for all of us. I did one show, after the show, this lady stopped me and she said, you really smoke weed like you said you do on stage? I said, yeah. She said, after the show, we're all going to go out back back, we're going to go have some weed. And I should have known right away it was a red flag. Nobody has ever said, we're going to go have some weed. That's not a fucking phrase. You might have said, we're going to have a beer or a couple of drinks. You might have said, we're going to go have some Coke. But nobody says, we're going to have some weed. But I wanted to have some weed, so after the show, I went on back with them, and I had some weed with them. And she had the shittiest edibles I'd ever seen in my life. This lady had edible wheat thins. Nobody eats regular wheat thins. Why the fuck would you make edible? What else you got in that purse, lady? Edible black jelly beans? CBD casserole? Why would you make this shit? So she finally pulled out something rollable. She rolled it. We're all smoking it. And she goes, too bad Tommy couldn't be here. I said, all right, I'm already fucked up on the weekends. I'll like, who the fuck's Tommy? Turns out Tommy's a friend of hers who used to smoke with her and her friends. He got into an accident and he broke both of her arms. And he's paraplegic, he can't use his arms anymore. So they don't smoke with him. I said, that's bullshit. You kicked him out of the circle? Why would you do that? You could have held the weed for him and lit it. She said, we did. We held the weed and we lit it, but we get nervous with this fire in his face. And he got tired of it, so he went and he bought a smoking monkey. So a smoking monkey? She said, yeah, he bought a smoking monkey. And then she walked the fuck away and the conversation was over. You can't tell somebody your friend bought a smoking monkey, just walk away and the conversation's over. If you say that your friend bought a smoking monkey, you're required to stand there by social standards at least 15, 20 minutes answering questions. Ask questions. So where do you get a smoking monkey from? How much does it cost? What do you buy? Do they deliver it or do they pick up yourself? Is it trained? You gotta train yourself. If it's trained, it's a rolling monkey or a packing monkey. If it's a rolling monkey, can you get sick smoking something, lick clothes with monkey spit? So I have these questions. So I got a number, so I could go home and I could call her later about the smoking monkey. And my wife saw a paper on the table. And she said, who the fuck's Michelle? So she was at the show, her friend bought a smoking monkey. My wife had a smoking monkey. I said, yep. And I went to sleep. Thank you guys.